After relaxing, recharging, and taking a deep breath next to the Gibbon River, it was time for us to head over to the most popular place in all of Yellowstone, Old Faithful.
We actually headed over to Old Faithful area to grab something to eat. Found out that the next scheduled eruption was going to be within the next 30 to 40 minutes. So we just hung out and waited for the eruption, and when it occurred, it did not disappoint.
After watching Old Faithful do its Old Faithful thing, we went over to the inn. I think the original thought was that we would grab a bite to eat here at one of the restaurants. And though the inn is really amazing and everybody should go check it out, it was a little bit too hectic. Seems like a lot of people were trying to check in. There was a lot of folks doing what we were doing, just looking. After we looked around, we decided that perhaps we were better off going to a smaller venue to get a bite to eat. So we headed over to the general store that has a really nice little soda fountain cafe type of a venue. Oh, look, it's just like the Red Bus in Geyser, except, yellow.
We had a number of different sites, like we said before, that we wanted to see, and Gibbon Falls was another one. We had passed it a number of times, but had not had a chance to stop. So we made a special point of driving to some of these other sites, including Gibbon Falls.
I really appreciate the fact that Gibbon Falls is super accessible. We saw folks in walkers and wheelchairs, and they were all able to enjoy the view. The other thing with Gibbon Falls is that it's actually roaring over lava, which is different than most of the other falls at Yellowstone.
Another of these sites was Fairy Falls, and the way that we had to go to get to Fairy Falls is first we had to pass Grand Prismatic, and there was a trailhead that we picked up from there to take us to the falls. So we got kind of a 2-for-1 on this one.
The same day that we did Fairy Falls, we tried to do Mystic Falls, but we couldn't find it. We spoke with the ranger, and they told us that actually to get to Mystic Falls, you have to go through Biscuit Basin. And John had been pretty much done with geothermal activities, but this one he had to take for the team so we could get to Mystic Falls.
Yeah, being done with geothermal really had a lot more to do with the photography aspect of it. It is, after a certain point in time, not very photogenic to do different springs and geysers and mud holes. With our photos, they tend to look kind of similar and hard to differentiate. So I think we've gotten a good representation of all of the geothermal, and I wasn't really looking to do more.
It was about a 4-mile hike, round trip, maybe a little bit more. But the falls were beautiful. They're also very popular, so in some cases couldn't edit the people out, but John did get some pretty nice shots of the waterfall up close. Our last fun day, which is our full day of activity, was dedicated to Yellowstone Lake. We'd stayed here 32 years ago and had very fond memories of the lake region. Though I don't remember these cabins, I think they've been added since. I mean, it has been 32 years. But you can actually rent cabins from the hotel.
First, we stopped at Lake Lodge. This is a pretty cool place to hang out, very open and comfortable. There are a number of different places you can just sit, or there's some restaurants, there's some cafes, just very easy to hang out at.
And right outside the Lake Lodge is a little trail that'll take you all the way down to Yellowstone Lake.
Path leads to Yellowstone Lake Hotel, where we had stayed 32 years earlier. So we were anxious to see how much we remembered, how much was the same, how much was different.
memory's kind of fuzzy, but it is a historic landmark, so we're assuming that it looked pretty much exactly the same. Checking out all the buildings and the store, we decided that we better go on a little hike.
And today's hike will be to Natural Bridge.
You can actually go to the very top of the Natural Bridge, but the safety commissioner / meteorologist predicted that there were going to be storms. So we came to a compromise that instead of going to the top of Natural Bridge, we would take a scenic boat tour of Yellowstone Lake. And as forecasted, it did rain during our boat tour, but it really didn't bother us.
One of the things about some of these tours is the guides make all the difference, and our guide for this one did a great job. Hey, look, bald eagle! He had lots of stories, lots of history to share with us, including the story of an abandoned steamship that was kind of in dispute and then wound up being used for a bunch of different purposes and turned into ultimately a shipwreck.
As we were coming back to the marina, we all got very excited because in this grove of trees, there's elk.
Right across from our campground was Canyon Village with a number of shops and stores and facilities that we regularly frequented.
Running down the same road like so many times before. I never felt as lonely, but I'm trying not to show. They said it would be easy, still I'm giving all I got. I just want to tell you something, it must have been something I forgot. All this time, it was never enough, so please slow down. I'm just trying to find my way back to you. I'm taking the long road, running on empty. I'll be better this time around.
Canyon Village also had an excellent visitor center. In my opinion, probably the best one in the park.
making up for lost time. Gonna make it right by you. They said it would be easy. Guess I never thought it through. My head's been in the wrong place when it should have been with you. All this time, it was never enough. So please slow down. I'm just trying to find my way back to you.
It had this super cool topographic map that you could push buttons on and light up, like the caldera rim or other things. And what was really cool is you could go to the second floor and actually look down.
I'm taking the long road, running on empty. I'll be better this time around.
One of the facilities we used heavily was the laundry/shower facility. We did take showers regularly, and we had to do laundry a number of times. We also used it to charge up our battery packs.
We did the whole pin in the map thing to let folks know where we're from. And I gotta say, Central Ohio, come to Canyon Campground, because we're really not representing here, especially compared to Europe. We met many Europeans. And like John said, this is also where we took our showers. We got 2 free showers every day, which we learned is a luxury. Camping at Canyon Village is far from roughing it. We really had a great time and had, as you can see, lots of facilities available to us.
Which came in handy when it hailed or when we ran out of power.
About halfway through our stay, we start to notice Christmas decorations popping up absolutely everywhere.
So the story goes that in the 1900s, a group of visitors were trapped by a freak snowstorm, and rather than bemoan their situation, they celebrated it by breaking out the Christmas decorations and having an impromptu Christmas.
And every year since, Yellowstone celebrates Christmas in August. And we had a very merry visit to Yellowstone.